If I ask you to think of one of the oldest types of surgery in history, you might not be thinking of plastic surgery, right? Reconstructive surgeries date back millennia. The first medical text for a surgery was made in the mid-1400s for a prototype of a nose job. Thankfully, we've updated our techniques, and I wouldn't recommend looking up how it used to be done unless you have a strong stomach. Fast forward to modern day, and the field of plastic surgery is changing dramatically thanks to shifts in technology and social media. There's been a recent surge in popularity since the start of the pandemic. The American Society of Plastic Surgeons even referred to it as the Zoom boom, noting remote meetings and increased time on camera seems to be a huge factor in more people willing to try cosmetic surgery. But what are some of the other factors that might be behind the rise of plastic surgery, and how might new online tools and platforms be driving the way we're altering our bodies? It's time to get out the scalpel and go beyond skin deep, here on our last edition of Better Beauty. To start off, we want to understand the sudden popularity of plastic surgery, and perhaps the biggest piece of that puzzle is social media. National correspondent Amber Strong has been reporting on this issue and tells us more about how apps like Instagram and TikTok are changing our bodies IRL.
Stephanie Jacobson is packed up and ready to go. The destination, a cosmetic surgery getaway in Colombia.
I'll be getting a breast augmentation and a thigh lift with a doctor I've read a lot of great reviews on.
She says the surgery is a reward for weight loss and the result of lots of research.
My doctor has a very heavy online presence, and he had a lot of before and after photos. His team was incredibly responsive.
She took Scripps News along for the journey. A few months later,
I guess the first question is just, how are you feeling?
I feel great. The doctors were great. The staff was amazing.
Jacobson lives in Miami, Florida, where she says cosmetic surgery is part of life there.
Everywhere you turn is a different doctor's walking billboard.
Tell me what you don't like about yourself. My brother would like a new nose.
Once a tool of the elite, cosmetic surgery is now available to people everywhere. According to the American Society of Plastic Surgeons, in 2020, there were about 2.3 million cosmetic surgical procedures done in the U.S. When you add in minimally invasive procedures, that's about $16 billion.
I really think what we're seeing is a change in people's mindsets. People are now looking at the world differently. Their ideals are different. They realize that life is short.
That normalization is partly due to social media, where you can get step-by-step videos on building your new you. In fact, its influence on beauty standards have led to the term Instagram face, where people start to look, well, similar, thanks to filters, makeup, and plastic surgery. While doctors have turned to social media to advertise their work,
here are the 4 worst cosmetic procedures being performed all the time everywhere today.
There's a growing list of doctors hoping to debunk anything too good to be true.
If I can get a person happy with how they look and how they feel about themselves and not put them under the risk of surgery, then that's really the thing to do.
Surgeons we spoke to are quick to remind people that cosmetic surgery is still surgery.
Whenever somebody asks me, what's the worst thing that can happen if I have plastic surgery? The answer always has to start out with, you could die. Now, it's very, very unlikely that that's going to happen, but that's the worst thing that can happen.
They say it's important to do your research, and that's more than checking out before and after photos.
People are posting their best pictures of their best outcomes, and a lot of times photo editing comes into play, or trick photography to make it look better.
If the lighting is different, if the setting is different, there might be something misleading about that.
They also warn of a trend of doctors with less training performing procedures.
Doctors are ditching their chosen professions to masquerade as plastic surgeons.
According to a study published in the medical journal Plastic and Reconstructive Surgery, 62% of the American Board of Cosmetic Surgery diplomats, a designation different from a board-certified plastic surgeon, advertise surgical operations beyond the scope of their residency training.
Any doctor can perform any procedure on you as long as you sign on the dotted line. It is perfectly legal to do that.
I did 4 years of undergraduate, 4 years of medical school, and then 6 years of specialty training in plastic surgery. And that's what you want.
It's not just surgeons. In 2021, a Florida mother died following cosmetic surgery, never waking from anesthesia. The person administering anesthesia that day was actually a certified OBGYN. While a lot of the cosmetic surgery legal world is a bit of a gray area, there are some laws. In 2009, then Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger signed the Donda West Law, requiring medical clearance before surgery. It's named after the late mother of rapper Ye, who died following plastic surgery complications. Medical professionals say physical and mental well-being are also important, and so is being realistic.
When you see patients that try to just strive for complete perfection, it's a red flag, because we'll never attain complete perfection, even with surgeries.
Plastic surgery is not about making someone who looks like this look completely different. It's about making you the best version of yourself.
Jacobson says she's happy with her and her doctor's joint decision not to go any further with the surgery.
Don't just always go with what's trendy, because looks always change, trends always change.
Especially in a world where beauty seems to not only be in the eyes of the beholder, but of millions online. Amber Strong, Scripps News.
All right, thanks so much for that, Amber, and to Stephanie for sharing her story with us. Now, Amber has made the link between social media and the popularity of plastic surgery very clear. So let's dive in a bit deeper into the apps driving these changes. First, there are the filters. Apps like Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok have built-in functions allowing for filters that can change the appearance of how your face is shaped. Some filters have been criticized before for how they try to beautify the user's face, often whitening skin and sometimes adding other Eurocentric features like thinning noses. But a huge concern has been how these filters might drive plastic surgery. They alter face shape or facial features to fit current beauty trends, giving users an instant picture of what they might look like with, say, a smaller nose or a more defined chin. Some filter creators admitted that making users look more like the latest beauty trend is what helps their filters go viral in the first place. Research suggests that social media use itself is linked to lower self-esteem and an increased acceptance of cosmetic surgery. One study led by researchers at University College London has shown that women between 18 and 29 were more likely to want cosmetic surgery if they spent significant time on social media. And that's just using the apps in general, which no surprise there. I think anyone that uses Instagram a lot knows how miserable it can make us, right? But face-altering filters in particular have been linked with low self-esteem as well. The Instagram policy has since been updated to only ban filters that encourage plastic surgery, including effects that depict procedures with surgery lines. But some creators have said it's not entirely clear what exactly encourages plastic surgery, and they claim filters are getting flagged inconsistently. Now, a lot of creators and experts alike do point out that many of these filters are just used for fun, and that it's not the technology itself that's the real source of the problem. The real issue lies with how fast beauty trends move on social media in the first place. Digital beauty marketing and online beauty trends are a rapidly changing area of the internet. Beyond fashion looks or makeup trends, it's now easy for body and face shapes and sizes to be moving in and out of style too. We can just look at trends around eye shape as just an example. Eyelid surgery became one of the most popular cosmetic procedures from 2019 to 2020, and that's not an accident. The so-called fox eye thread lift has taken over a huge swath of TikTok for a lifted, seductive, almost feline look. It's a surgery supposedly popularized by Bella Hadid and rumored to be favored by celebs like Ariana Grande. It's now become one of the highest demanded surgeries of the last 2 years. If you're thinking of getting the surgery yourself, you might want to take a beat. Looks like it's already being replaced by the recent doe eyes or Bambi eyes trend for a rounder, cuter look. And if you feel like you're just catching up here, you might already be a bit late. There's some momentum for the sleepy eyes look that's supposed to be alluring and kind of mysterious. Did you catch all that? Yeah, it's a lot to keep up with. It's worth noting the rush between online body trends may be directly leading to the recent spike in patients trying to reverse plastic surgeries. And that includes everything from reductions of lip filler to reversals of Brazilian butt lifts to fixing or reversing these eye surgeries, the last of which is particularly hard to undo. Accredited practitioners who can provide non-surgical treatments like thread lift have reportedly seen a 400% rise in thread lift complaints since 2019. Much has been written about plastic surgeries being driven by Hollywood, media, or celebrity culture, but we're just beginning to understand how big a role social media plays and how the tech right here on our phones, not only makes surgery seem more accessible, but might be pushing more of us to go under the knife.